Hi guys, and welcome again to Smartprep. Today we are continuing with our NBT maths preparation. If you are looking for NBT AQL preparation, that's the academic quantitative literacy, you are in the right place, but just not on the right video. So check out the description where I'll be putting playlists to the maths and the quantitative literacy, so you can look at those in order. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I know that when I looked at these stats, only about 1% of people watching this video will subscribe. So it would be great if you would help us out so that we can keep doing what we're doing. And a huge thank you to our members here. I know that not all of you can afford to become members of the channel, but if you can help out, that would be amazing. So I'm just going to move so you can see everyone. These guys here, thank you so much. If you are a member and you don't see your name, that's because you are probably subscribed after this video will be recorded and uploaded. So if you don't see your name, you will see it in the next video because we just update our members list. So yeah, thanks very much, and let's get to it. All right, the equation for one of the vertical asymptotes of f of x equals 3 tan 2x minus 15 is x. Okay, so what you need to know is that a tan graph looks like this, with asymptotes every 180 degrees. So this will be minus 90, 90, this starts at 0. Okay, so we see that we get an asymptote at 90. Okay. If you want more details on some of these questions, and you don't understand what's going on, we have another channel, a secondary channel, which I will put a link in the description to. And what that does is, in that channel, I go into detail on everything you need to know in order to understand these questions. But these are the shorter answers. And so I don't go into full detail, but basically what you need to know is this bit here equals 90. Okay. I'm going to go into huge explanation. As I said, if you want that, there's another channel for you. And I'll put a link there. Divide both sides by 2, we get x minus 15. 15 to the other side, and we get x equals 60. Okay, so your answer there is 60. A circle centered at the origin touches each branch of the hyperbola y equals 8 over x at exactly 1 point. Find the equation of the circle. Okay, so I'm just going to mention this once again because I know that I have mentioned it in other videos, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but what we found in the comments is that some of the people writing Maths Lit, or the people that are struggling with pure maths, even though we give the answers, they are still unsure of what is going on. So I will explain in greater detail these exact same questions on what used to be my personal channel, which has now been rebranded to Smartprep Maths and Science. If you find that channel, go there and subscribe if you are looking for more details. Basically what this says is you have a center circle at the origin like this, and a hyperbola looks like this. As I said, you're expected to kind of know this stuff. If you don't, check out the other channel. I will do this in more detail. But what we know is that if this is 8 over x, then we know that these values here will be 2 root 2 and 2 root 2. And negative 2 root 2 and negative 2 root 2. Then what we do is we now know that, okay, this is the center of the circle here. This is the equation of the circle, right? And it goes through the origin. Okay, now if you are trying to rule out, because the center of the circle, the center of the circle is at the origin, we can rule out this, because the origin has to be x plus y squared equals an x plus y, and then the radius. So essentially what we're doing is we have to find the radius. Okay, so the radius of the circle will then be this here. There's this, because there's the center, and the radius will go to that point. So if I simply just use Pythag, because I can drop a perpendicular here, I will simply then say the radius r squared is equal to the x value squared. Well, let's just do the equation. R squared equals x squared plus y squared. See that in this equation. Let me just do a different color. So that will be squared, and the 2 root 2 will be squared. Yeah, I think that's easier to see. That's a plus. Then what we get is 4, and then the root 2 squared is just 2, right? So 4 times 2 is 8, and we get 8 plus 8, which is 16. And so our r squared is equal to 16. So the answer is C. Okay, I will explain more in detail, but I think a lot of you guys are here for the quick answers, if you have a good understanding of core maths, but I have allocated time to show these questions in more detail on the other channel. So please check that out. I'm just advertising a little bit, maybe just boring you with too much of promoting that channel, but as I say, it really is for the benefit of the Maths Lit guys. So we're trying to get more people onto that channel so that they are also they can ask questions there, and we can go and we can kind of sort of stream it to this channel, having the core maths guys, and then the other channel being able to help those who you know, are just a little bit lost and feel they need a little bit more help. Okay, all right, so a water sprinkler is placed in the center of a square field. Okay, so let's just draw that field. It's a square field, and you've got a water sprinkler in the middle, and the water sprinkler reaches the 4 sides. And so let's draw the water in blue. And so the water sprinkler kind of goes in a circle like that, doesn't it? Okay. And it waters this part, but it doesn't water the corners. Okay, so what we know, so let's do the circle in blue, and they want to know the fraction of the field that's not watered. Okay, so the watered part is this, and we have the center circle there, which is, we have the radius of the circle, right? It'll be there. Let's do that in white. Okay, now we know then if that's the radius, then the diameter would be 2r, right? So this length here of the field is then 2r. And we know the radius, it would also be down here. So radius all around. So this would also be r here and r here. So that would be 2r. Okay, so we know the area of the square is 2r times 2r, right? So the area of the square is equal to 2r times 2r. Oopsie, just in my head doing it, which is 4r squared. Now, what you could do is you could subtract the area of the circle from that. So if I was to then do the circle above, what I'd be left with is just the corners, right? I'd just be left with the corners. And let's do that in pink, right? I'd just be left with these corners. So what I want to do is I want to get the area of the square and minus the area from the circle to get the pink, which is the part that's not watered, that bit there, these parts. Okay, so I have to subtract the area of a circle, which is minus, and the area of a circle is, that's a nice easy one, that's pi r squared. Now they want the fraction that's not watered. Okay, so the total area is the 4r squared. So the fraction is that whole, so the fraction of the whole field. So it's basically the whole field at the bottom, right? That would be that whole square. And then the part that's not bordered, right? Because it's a fraction of the not bordered squared over the whole lot. So we would say then, so let me just draw this. So it's basically that part, the not bordered part. I'm just going to do in pink, over the total. Okay, so how did we get the pink part? The pink part was this equation here. And then the whole part was the part in green. Okay, so we end up writing 4r squared minus pi r squared over the full field, because that's a fraction, right? Because a fraction is the whatever you're looking for over the total, and the total area is obviously that whole field, which is 4r squared. Okay, and what we can do now, I'm going to drop the colors, and I don't need that. Well, I can take out r squared from the top and the bottom. And so I take out r squared. Let's do this in white. And I'm left with, and take out r squared on both the top and the bottom. And I'm left with, but when I take out r squared out of here, I've just got 4 minus pi, right? And the bottom, I've just got 4. Okay, the pi should be in blue. Just show what's coming from what. Okay, and I get D. So that answer is D once I cancel the r squareds. Okay, a square lawn has a 1 meter path around it. Okay, so these are quite challenging, these questions. Oopsie. Okay, so I have an area of the lawn. So let's do the lawn in green, right? So it's there. And I have a path around this lawn, like that. And let's see, the area of the lawn, find the area of the lawn if the area of the path is 40. So this path is 40. Okay, so what do I know? I know that the path is 1 meter. So if I look at this, well, I could do the same thing as I did last time, right? Except the other way around. Because they tell you that the green, the area define the area of the path is 40. So the red part is 40. So that there is 40. Just the green part. So if I looked at this whole square, this is 1 meter. Okay. So that's 1 meter. And that's 1 meter. So what we have to do here is we have to use some algebra, right? We have to use some algebra. And let's call this green part, the length of the green part, x. So we'll use this color here. Okay, so we'll call that x, right? So do you see that this whole length here would be 2 plus x? So if I looked at, well, I'm saying this, right? Let me just say what this means. Let's just find a different color. Running out of colors here. So this whole part here will be x plus 2, right? Because it's the 1 meter and then the x, the length of the lawn. So that's x plus 2. Now that whole area would be, this would also be, because it's a square, it would be x plus 2. So this would also be x plus 2, right? And so x plus 2, the area of this whole part here, not just the path, but just the whole area here would be x plus 2 times x plus 2, right? Which is x plus 2 squared. And that minus the area of the path will give you the area of the lawn, because we want the green part, right? So this whole thing, which is x plus 2, so let me just draw that. So this here, both x plus 2, if I find this whole area here and I subtract the path, I will get the area of the green inside. Okay. Well, I just need to simply, we already know the area of the path. The area of the path is 40, right? So we can just say minus 40. And that should give us this part here, which is the green, right? Now the green bit is x squared, isn't it? Right, because it's x times x. So the large square minus the path is going to equal the inside, which is our x squared. Okay, sorry about the mess here. That's the x squared. So I can now drop the colors. Okay, because x plus 2, well, maybe let me not drop the colors yet. So we get x plus 2 times x plus 2, which is x squared plus 2x plus, I'm not going to take shortcuts, plus 2x plus 4 minus 40 is equal to x squared. Is equal to x squared. Now we notice quite conveniently that the x squareds cancel. And we get 4x plus 4 minus 40, right? So we get, I can now drop the colors, I'm sure. 4x. Well, plus 4 minus 40 gives us minus 36, right? Equals 0. And now I can say then take the 36 to the other side, and I get x equals 9. Okay, so x is 9. Now so the pink part is 9, and we said that it's going to be, the area of the green is just x times x. So 9 times 9, which is 81. Okay, so these questions are a little bit tricky. So what I'm going to leave this on the screen for a bit. What I would like to do, because I know that there are people who are watching this who would like to help the channel by commenting and subscribing and liking and all that. And sometimes you're like, well, what do I comment? I mean, I'd love you to say, we love the videos, you're amazing and all that stuff. But realistically, perhaps I think that it might be more likely that if I ask you, can you answer the question 33? Maybe try and do it. So some of the bright sparks, guys, it's actually pretty good for you to, because I know that you can watch these videos and see me do them, and then they may seem either easy or tricky, I'm not sure. But the point is that you in the NBTs, you've got to do them yourself. So you've seen the video, this question, take it down. Pause the video, and then I'm going to now stop sharing, and I'm just going to put a challenge to you guys. That question there, question 33, put your answer in the comments, and let's see how you go. And if someone in the comments gets the answer right, I will post the next video.